Welcome, everybody. February 12th. The winter is nearly completed here in the Netherlands, but in the tropics, Ivan is enjoying much better weather. Today, we're going to talk about Salvia splendens, a deep dive into technology. I think a very exciting crop in our portfolio. We have some very nice additions from the Flora Nova pipeline, and Ivan will help you making a very successful production with this fantastic crop. Ivan, floor is yours.
Hello, Michael. Hello, everyone who joined us today. I would like to welcome everyone who look at this webinar, who join us today, flower lovers, our customers, growers, anyone who is like the flowers and who is enjoying the flowers. And let's start with our webinar, deep dive into technology of Salvia splendens. And I may to say today I will talk about the most red flower in our assortment, because Salvia is mostly about the red, and most of the growers are happy because of the Salvia's hot resistance and hot tolerance. So that's why it's really a tropical crop, I may to say. And let's start with traditionally with the assortment. Here I would like to display our Salvia splendens assortment. We have already 6 series, and I displayed in this table all the series in the terms of the height, from smaller one, from the compact one, up to bigger one. And here you can see most of the salvia suitable for landscaping, to create very nice red hills, red fields. And some of the genetics has a unique performance. For instance, Salvia flammex is really genetically compact. So if you need to produce a very nice red colored flowers in a small buckets or small pots, please use the flammex. Sizzler has a very high uniformity, and of course other salvias has also very nice uniformity, but the Sizzler is a pioneer in this, sorry, is a leader in this feature. And of course other varieties, especially Mojave and Salsa, also has a uniformity between the different colors. Flipside Mix is another series. It's a standing out series, is a series that has unique sepals color, because normally salvias has all salvias have a red, bright red or red sepals color, but Flipside Mix has a white or cream sepals color. So if you would like to extend your assortment, please you can use the Flipside Mix. Mojave is one of the leader of our assortment, is best performer in landscaping, best performer in the packs and the pots, and the, of course, patio pots. It has a medium, I made to say it has a medium height or and medium size, and the biggest salvias is of course Salsa and Sahara. Salsa is a little bit stretchy, especially in the spikes. So if you would like to see the very tall spikes of the red colors, red color, you can use a Salsa. And of course Sahara. Sahara has one of the best hot tolerance. It's a very sustainable in the sunbeam, in the strong sun condition. And of course, please not forget to use this link to search more information, to find more background of that crops. For Syngenta flowers, you can use page 48 in our very nice and wide assortment catalog. And in a Flora Nova catalog, you can find information about the Salvia on the page 80. And let's start to make more familiar with our assortment. And of course, we're starting from a smaller one up to a bigger one. Smaller one is a Flamix. Flamix is a standout varieties because of unique red color and a unique compact performance. This salvia is suitable for the packs production. Production in the packs or in the trays, in a big size trays, like 6 cells trays or 10 cells trays, and also in a small pot. And of course, it is I may to say not really suitable for landscaping, but if you would like to make a red line in the front of the landscaping, you can use this salvia. Sizzler. Sizzler is one of the wide range assortment series. In this series, already 7 separate colors, and here you have here you can see a very nice and very tender color. Is it called this salmon, Sizzler salmon, and of course we have a mix as well in this series. Flip side. As I announced previously, this is a very unique salvia because of sepals coloration. Here you can see the normal sepals coloration of in a flower spike of the flowers of this series of the plant of the series, and here you can see very interesting color combination: bright red with a creamy or a little bit lime color. Mojave has a very strong 5 colors, and this is the best performer in the landscaping. I may to say it even less damaging by the sunlight, and the sepals damaging less by sunlight than other series. And of course, I would like to say the same thing about the Sahara. Salsa, it may to say supplemental series to the Mojave, because Mojave is a pioneer of landscaping. Salsa is very nice in landscaping as well, but please keep in attention that Mojave have a shorter and wider flower spikes, and Salsa have a longer and little bit stretchy flower spikes. So if you would like to see more visible and more thin flower spikes like arrows, you can use a Salsa. If you would like to see cover that completely cover the landscaping, please choose a Mojave. And of course, Sahara. This is unique red color, very strong red color, can very easily resist against the strong sun. And let's start to get knowledge how to receive these nice and these compact brightly blooming flowers. And of course, I don't want to avoid landscaping application examples. And here you can see that this is a nice picture from Vietnam. Here's our technical sales manager, Triad. And here you can see a really nice example of the Mojave Salvia application, especially if you want to create flag colored landscaping. Especially for the Vietnam, you know, the flag color is golden or yellow and red, and the same for the China, for the China. In this case, it very easily with a bright red salvia to create this kind of landscaping coloration. Let's start with the technical tips. Of course, we have 5 technical tips for salvia as for many crops, and more critical technical tips I would like to display here. First of them, don't overwater salvias, not only in the seedling stage, in entire production during all the production time. Keep pH below 5 and 8. This is very beneficial for salvia. It's not really critical, but very beneficial, I may to say. Lower fertilizer, but this is already critical item, and later on I will explain why. Keep it warm. Salvia is really hot tolerant crop, so that's why, especially in a young plant stage, it's better to keep it in a warm side. And provide the proper level of the light, of course. And with this, if you follow up our recommendation and reach out proper condition for the salvia, you will receive very nice compact branching and very floriferous plants. And please not forget to use this link if you would like to get more information about other crops in our YouTube channel for Syngenta flowers APAC. You can use QR code to jump to our YouTube channel. And let's start with the sowing process. How to sow salvia, how to be successful with the sowing salvia. Let's go step by step. I suggest to use 200 or 288 tray cells tray. And Salvia not need to apply more than one seeds for each cells, just because of the very nice germination rate. The normal germination rate for Salvia is 90-95%. So that's why I not advise to use multi seeds sowing application. What do I need to cover Salvia? Yes, of course. You can you can know that already from the picture from the right on the right side, and of course it is possible to cover with a different type of materials, with a perlite, with microlite, and even with a small layer of the substrate, and even sometimes small layer of the substrate is more beneficial than a perlite and vermiculite for Salvia. And light is not required for germination, so that's why please don't afraid if you cover seed a little bit more than it's necessary. Soil temperature during the germination stage should be at the level 20 to 24 degrees of Celsius. So that's why I told Salvia like quite hot temperature. Here you can see already in a seedling stage, Salvia requires quite high temperature. And of course, moisture level. This is another tricky things, another secrets of the Salvia. Salvia not like saturated substrate. Salvia likes a little bit drier condition. So that's why it would be nice to provide level wet on the level 4. What's the difference between 5 and 4? Between entirely saturated substrate and not really saturated or wet substrate. The difference is in the few features of that substrate. Totally or entirely saturated substrate mostly looks like a glittering on the surface, but wet substrate not has a free water on the surface. And if you try to take up the trace with a saturated substrate, you will see water very easily trickling down from the bottom of the trace. But to receive the few, if you will take a trace with a wet substrate, you will see just only a few drops. And to receive the additional water, you have to press that. So that's the difference, and that's how to understand different what is a wet saturated substrate, which is significant for Salvia good Salvia germination rate. And let's start with the other condition. Of course, I would like to talk about the substrate. Salvia is rather strong crop, so in as a unknowns of the technical tips of that crop, I would like to say Salvia not requires any kind of specific approach for that to receive the nice plant. It's quite easily crop, but it has a few secrets that you should know to avoid these not very oftenly happening mistakes, but it will help you to avoid some how to say it some mistakes that can come suddenly. And of course, Salvia quite strong crop, so that's why professional substrate is okay for that. Coco peat okay as well, but please don't forget about the pH and the sodium level in a coco peat substrate. But I way to say Salvia also quite resistant against the sodium and chloride level in the substrate. And of course, Salvia okay even with the soil derived substrate or natural substrate. So if you apply the mix, for instance, coco peat with natural soils or professional peat derived substrate with natural soils, that is okay. And Salvia will be germinated quite well even in the substrate based on the natural soils. And of course, don't forget to avoid overwatering of the substrate for the Salvia. And let's start to talk about pH. pH is quite critical for Salvia because Salvia mostly prefer range between 5.5 and 5 up to 5.8. Sometimes it is okay 5.9 and even 6, but not keep too high pH for the long time. And what is beneficial from the optimal pH? Today, I will not make you scary about what happened if you increase the pH. Today, I will talk about beneficial of the optimal pH rate. Of course, this is a less fungal diseases pressure on the plant, because most of the fungal spores are very easily germinating in the quite rather higher pH, and of course mineral availability. Most of the mineral movements and ability depends on the pH rate. With a too higher or too lower pH rate, some of the elements cannot be available for the plants, or cannot be quite movable by the water. So in this case, plant can faced with a deficiency, and you will see some kind of deficiency things on the plant, like chlorosis, or like discoloration of the some parts of the leaves, or site necrosis on the leaves. So that's why if you keep a pH range between 5.5 up to 5.8, you can be confident that Salvia will be in the perfect condition, and you will receive the very quality plant. And where is pH coming from? I would like to send a reminder message to you. Please don't forget pH. You have to control pH in the two part of the materials, or may to say the two part of the plant production, or I mean to say two part of the agriculture level. First one is the water, and the second one is a substrate. Why you have to control at the same time in the water and in the substrate? It's a strange thing, yeah. You can imagine if you control the pH in the water and add the substrate, pH should be the same. But honestly, no. If you apply substrate with a higher pH, you can imagine the substrate, even if it is looks dry, it contains some kind of water in the between the particles, or on the particles, on the surface of the particles, and some of soluble elements, or some of the soluble ions already can be stay in that particles, and can be dissolved in that water. So that's why if you add the water, this water will dissolve that ions, and it will bring that ions to the plant. If there are too many ions, alkaline ions, like hydroxide anion, and like a carbohydrate anion, that ions can be affect on the plant growth. So that's why control the water pH in the water, and the substrate as well. And please don't forget to measure that. Check pH in the both sources, in the both materials. And let's start to talk about the salvia fertigation, because this is a little secret of the salvia that in general not well known by many of the growers. The recommendation for the seedling stage in the substrate, it should be quite low level of EC. It should be 0.5 up to 0.75 millisiemens per centimeter. And in the water, you must apply for the salvia not higher than 1.5. This is really critical, and I will explain it why. What's happened if you apply excess of fertilizer? And not only excess, I will tell another secret about. It will lead plants to the tip burning, or tips abortion. Here you can see in the picture displayed in the red circles seedlings with aborted or burned out tips. High concentration of the salt in the water can entirely stop the growth of the apical dome of the salvias. And here I hope you are able to see in the screen, but you can later on use a presentation and enlarge the picture, and there you will see that plants highlighted with the red rings really hasn't normal developed tips. And to avoid this situation, please don't forget to measure pH, of course, pH and EC in the water, and control EC and keep EC in optimal range between 0.5 up to 0.75 in the substrate, and not apply too high concentrated fertilizer or too high concentrated water solution for the salvias. If you apply rather high concentration like 1.0 or 1.5, the best solution is to apply water from the top after watering with the fertilizer. And what's about the next another condition for the salvia. Here we will talk about the temperature, and of course keep the plants on the seedling stage on the warm in the warm condition, on the warm side. Day temperature should be on the level 21, 22, and please don't forget to, now I talking about the optimal range. Of course, salvia as a hot tolerant crop can even resist, can even sustain, can even be sustainable in the more higher temperature, like 23, 25 degrees. And night temperature should be a little bit lower. If you provide the difference between day and night, you can, of course, you can receive, you for sure you will receive quite compact plants, and this difference is beneficial for the plants as well. And let's talk about the light intensity. Salvia very likes light intensity as because that plant originally from the prairies or from the semi-desert condition, so it really likes to highlight. But in the seedling stage, it's better to provide a rather low intensity, not too high, not like 50 or 60 kilolux. 20 or 30 will be absolutely applicable for this crop. And of course, don't forget about the moisture level in the substrate. Moisture level on this stage should be alternate between level 4 and level 2. And let's dry substrate between irrigation or before next irrigation. So if you see substrate not completely dried from the top, it's better to a little bit postpone with another watering application. And here you can see the seedlings ready for transplanted. And if you already receive seedlings with a 2 pair of leaves, it means seedlings already can be transplanted. It must be transplanted in the bigger pots or bigger trays or in the containers. And what's about condition on the during transplanting, and what kind of material we can use to provide for the salvia very perfect condition, or rather good condition. Substrate. As I previously said, salvia is really strong crop. It's able to survive even in the natural soil. If you apply the and I also recommend not to apply the clean soil, because clean soil is too hard for most of the plants. And of course, if you would like to see in your location quite perfectly looks flowers, perfectly looks salvias. Of course, I advise not to use natural soil as itself as a substrate. Please rinse it with, please mix it with a, for instance, wood fiber substrate or peat moss, or with a rice husk, or with a cocopeat, to make substrate, to let the substrate receive more oxygen, and to provide more porousness in the substrate. And of course, not forget to choose proper container, because salvia likes light intensity, quite high light intensity. If you provide too small containers or too small trays, salvia will start to stretch. This is a reaction on the shading. And to be sure that you provide or you choose a proper container size or proper tray size, you can use this table. Here I displayed, this is a repetition from the table number 1 from this presentation. And here you can see proper container size, or is it possible to use a pack for a particular variety or not. And if you use a proper container site, you will provide enough space and good light condition for the plants. And how to keep plants after transplanting. Here you can see the example of the plant that already stretch. I already talk many times about not provide shady condition on, and not forget to transplant salvias in a time. And here you can see already stretched plant, and salvia showed not only 2 pairs of leaves, it's already starting to show more leaves on the top. So that's why here you can see example how plants look like that being postponed with the transplanting. And general condition after transplanting, you can keep already salvias in little bit colder condition. And of course, I would like to repeat, salvias is hot tolerant crop, so that's why not be afraid if the temperature will be out of this range and will be, for instance, will be a little bit higher, for instance 20 to 23 or 20, even 25 degrees. That's not really big challenge for the salvias. So the night temperature should be a little bit lower. So for instance, if you provide for salvia even 22 degrees, but if you able to provide night temperature lower on the 2 or 3 degrees below the day temperature, you will provide salvia quite nice and quite affordable condition. And of course, light intensity. Here you can see light intensity already should be higher than in a seedling stage. So here you can see quite strong light level, like 40 or 60 kilolux. It may to say it can looks like a little bit shady with the clouds. Fully sun condition, but little bit shady with small clouds. So in the plastic house or greenhouse, you can receive that light intensity in the full sun condition. So substrate moisture level should be mostly the same, a little bit or even little bit drier, like in the seedling stage. Here I display mostly the same level between 4 and 2. And please don't forget to keep plants drier, to let them dry between irrigation. When I talking to keep them drier, I not means you to wait that time when the plants start to fading. Please don't please don't keep the plant in that condition. It means substrate surface should looks like drier, completely drier from the top. Only if you see substrate already light gray condition, like it displayed in this table in the bottom of this slides, level for the level 2, you can start to apply the next watering. And of course, not forget about pH. pH should be in the level between 5.5 till 5.9 or 5.8. It, of course, on the ready plant stage should be can be even a little bit higher. That's not problem for the salvia, because salvia is a really strong crop. You already know the main secret of the salvia: don't over apply fertilizer. And how to fertigate the salvia on the ready plant stage. Before flower spikes appears, I can recommend to apply NPK rate like a 75-70, when the nitrogen and potassium rate mostly the equal or mostly the same or close to each other. Provide a 75 or 125 ppm of nitrogen that can be provided with the mentioned NPK rate if you add to the water 0.5 up to 1.0 gram per liter. And don't feed salvia too much. I already mentioned not apply EC level in the water higher than 1.5. Sometimes it is possible, even in a really sunny condition, to apply a little bit higher EC level, like 1.7, but just only one time, or after that, it's better to rinse the flowers from the top if you apply watering from the top by the nozzles or by the hose from the top. So in this case, it's better to rinse the plant by the clean water. And of course, I would like to keep the few words about, say the few words about the abbreviation SME. SME is saturated media extract. So what it means? If you take the substrate for pH measurement, saturated media extract, it means half of volume of the substrate and half of volume of the distillated water should be mixed, and after approximately 15 minutes or 30 minutes, you can measure pH in this mixture. This mixture look like a sour cream in this in the how to say it, shouldn't be too solid, and at the same time shouldn't be too liquid. So the volume combination of the substrate and the distillated water should be half of the volume of the substrate and half volume of the water, or one by one, to say like this. And here you can see what's happened if you provide too high concentration of EC, or EC in the substrate excess and reach up level like 1.7 or higher. So 1.5 or 1.7 or higher. Here we can see the plants start to curling their leaves, and sometimes on some leaves you can see the damage like side necrosis or marginal necrosis, and this is and the first things of the fertilizer over application is a curling of the leaves. If you see salvia already became a dark green and start to curl in the leaves, it means please it asking you, please check the pH in the substrate. It can be too high. And how to prepare salvia for the blooming? We are happy because salvia able to make it by itself in general, but to make it to help plant make it more easily and to receive the flowers more faster, and to receive it in more bigger quantity, I advise to change NPK rate and increase potassium rate in the fertilizer, and of course provide the same level of nitrogen with the NPK with a complex fertilizer like 0.5 1.0, and continue with a low fertigation level. So it should be the same 1.0 up to 1.5, not in water, and 0.9 up to 1.3 in the substrate. So if you see the plants already, the EC already reach out 1.3, it means you must to decrease EC level in the water, in the that water that you applied for the plants. And here, this salvia is not really, it looks nice, but not really perfect, just because here you can obviously noted that the spikes of the plant little bit stretchy. How to handle that and how to fix that situation? Of course, it is possible to apply PGRs, but initially and formally, I said that better condition to provide good plant shape and compactness and nice branching, and it is to provide the space between the plants. So a nice arrangement and proper pot size or proper tray size, and delay, please don't delay with the transplanting of the salvias. So it will not let the plants feel in the shading condition. So that plants will stay compact. Is it possible to apply PGRs? Yes, of course. And even we are happy because again, salvia is really strong crop, and you're able to apply Bonzi even when the flower spikes already appears on the plants or not appears yet. Bonzi with the level of 2 till 3 ppm will not delay the blooming. So that's why it's possible. If you see a plant start to stretch, you're able to manage crop in many ways. You can arrange a plant, you can apply more sun, you can apply a lower temperature, and you can of course apply the PGRs. But of course, the better condition, I mean, the proper arrangement, the proper pot size, and of course, proper temperature range, better provide a plant compactness and plant branching ability. And in the end of this presentation, I would like to say a few words about disease management. And Salvia as a strong crop hasn't too many diseases. It's mostly the similar with the tagetes, because Salvia also mostly derived from the hot natural condition. It's mostly prairie plant. Made to say it's plant came from the prairies. And so that's why it mostly can damaged with a really it can be damaged by a fungal disease in really inappropriate condition, like too wet condition or too shady condition. If you not for instance, if the grower not arrange plant in the time, or apply too much water, or very oftenly apply the water from the top. So only two diseases can be dangerous for the salvias. Is alternaria and botrytis. But salvia is so strong crop that even alternaria not able to damage the plant stems. It mostly cause the spots on the leaves. But of course, if you receive not attractive spots on leaf, you will not be happy with salvia, of course. So that's why I advise to apply the chemicals. And please don't forget to rotate active ingredients when you apply the chemicals. It will help you to avoid resistance of a fungus against specific compounds, chemical compounds. So here I already display 4 different active ingredients for each diseases, for each of the diseases. And so you will be able to easily manage and easily change the active ingredient during your practice activity with the salvia. Of course, we mostly already came to the end of this presentation. I would like to remind you, don't forget to reach out your key account manager for additional information, or reach out our sites where you can find more interesting information and more background about the salvias, about the different series of the salvias, what kind of varieties we had there. And you can also contact my person to find out any how to say it, conversation about the questions or fix your problem. So thank you for your time. I hope we have enough time for Q&A session, and I'm happy today I make much shorter presentation, and I hope you are not tired from too many information here I displayed here. And I would like to ask Michael. Michael, can you
Yep.
please?
Thanks, Ivan. Again, a very inspiring and interesting story. We see a lot of feedback icons popping up. I see that we also have some colleagues in the group of people that are joining this webinar. If you have any questions or reactions, please make use of the Q&A button at the bottom of the screen, and place any questions or remarks that you might have for Ivan. And like he said, if some questions pop up in the upcoming days when you're still digesting all the information that has been shared, then feel free to either reach out to Ivan or to the key account managers of the tropical territories. We have Amjad Iqbal for Southeast Asia and Pakistan, and we have Gautam Sangle for South Asia. We also have several technical sales managers in the respective territories. Feel free to reach out to them as well. They are all in direct contact with Ivan. So if your question is very technical or very elaborate, you can be sure that it lands on Ivan's desk for analysis, and he will feed you back his answers either directly or through the respective colleagues. I see there are currently no questions or remarks in the chat. So with that, I thank everybody for your participation. Thanks again, Ivan, for an excellent presentation, and Renate, thanks for all the technical support in setting up these webinars. And I hope to see you all again on March 5. Which crop are we going to discuss then, Ivan?
Viola again. Finishing with the viola.
Looking forward to that one as well. All right. Have a very lovely day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.